I am more disappointed, not about them and not speaking Korean. I'm more disappointed on the... Hey guys, welcome back. So today I have a very requested video. Honestly, I don't really love doing videos like this, but because you guys requested it and I have a lot to say. And my response to this will probably be very different than other people's reaction videos and what you guys are thinking. So just hear me out, okay? Alright, first of all though, I'm in love with my outfit today. I love this like magical looking bracelet. And first of all, I have to say this top right here. I thought I would never wear black, but this top here is so cute. Belly, top of the belly here, I think it's super sexy. And then I matched it with my beautiful cross diamond earrings here. Anyway, you guys, so today we're gonna be talking about a new group called Kaachi. I think Kaachi, they mean Kaachi. Kaachi in Korean means together. It does really remind me of ITZY from JYP, where they're using kind of like grammar and just simple verbs to make this cute group name. So it does sound pretty catchy, not gonna lie about that. So let's talk about their music video. I was gonna do a reaction, but I'm gonna get copyrighted, so I don't want to do that. So looking at the music video, they put Gotu as the guy here. That's kind of cute. Is it a bitter end for Chunso and Gotu? A mystery girl exposed. I thought this was creative, a little bit, not gonna lie, a bit cringy, but I do understand that it's something that little teens do like. There has been talks that this girl, her name is Chunso. Okay, so number one, I do understand that putting a Korean name into a non-Asian person, it does for me seem a little bit odd. She could have just stuck with her real name and I think that would have been totally fine. I'm not really sure why she picked the word Chunso. It does seem a little bit old-fashioned Korean name. Or maybe Chunso is a real name of an idol that she really likes. I'm not sure. Maybe she explained it. I didn't see it. Let's talk about their skills. Now, I am actually looking at this from a very like non-opinionated perspective at all. I'm actually treating them because they're calling themselves a first UK K-pop group and not inspired by K-pop. So I'm actually seeing this from a fresh perspective. I do have to say, I do have to comment that their skills don't seem to be up to, how do I say this? Like, not gonna lie, it does seem like girls that has not been training for years or, you know, putting too much effort to it. Maybe their mental mind, they really love K-pop and they really were, you know, putting a lot of energy into it, but that does not add up to the skills that usually people will want to see. We want to see synchronicity in dancings. We want to see girls dancing in big motions. It does seem like their dance skills are a little bit weak. It seems like it's not in synchronicity with each other. It does seem like they just kind of just memorized the choreography and didn't put a lot of time into it, meaning like training hard for like 6 months for a debut, because that's what usually people do. They prepare about 3 months at least to 6 months in order for them to actually debut a song. But I think dancing is to the side, and I think the main thing is the music itself and the vocals. I do feel like their vocals are very weak. I think if their vocals were really good and then their dancing was like whatever, I think that will kind of balance it out. But because their vocals are very weak and then their dancing is weak as well, I think it just clashed and it doesn't really seem pleasing to the ear or the eyes as well when it comes to their skills only. I like her energy the best out of all of them if I had to choose one. Maybe having a bit of like backup dancers would have helped that bridge part here where they have that break dance, maybe having like professional dancers to really hype them up, because that's why a lot of K-pop groups and a lot of singers, I mean everywhere around the world, have backup dancers, because the singers themselves are not actual dancers, you know, so it's hard to get that power out there. So if you have backup dancers or professionals who are able to like back you up when it comes to energy and performance and dance, it really helps the image, overall image. So next thing I have to comment is that I'm very disappointed is their Korean. I mean, they did use very easy Korean, something that, you know, is not complicated and it's very like slow, meaning they're not putting a lot of Korean words into one line, so it does seem easy to sing along. I believe you don't have to be 100% fluent at Korean, but at least 70% when it comes to the pronunciations, when it comes to your emotions, really fully understanding what this word means. It does seem very disconnected because I could tell that they're not fluent in Korean at all. I think the best part of the song is where they're harmonizing. Na 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 na, I can do this. I think if they were like really good at singing, this song would have sounded really bomb. So if they sang it a little bit faster, like 니가 아까워 Korea, maybe it would have sounded a little bit not noticeable. Because the Korean is simple and they do have to hold that note, you could hear that flaw in their Korean. I mean, I kind of do, but don't understand why they had the Asian girl sing English and then the non-Asian girl sing in Korean, and it just sounded like the Asian girl wasn't really good in English and the non-Asian girl sounded not good in Korean, so it just sounded really off at that moment. I also would say it would be nice if the girls trained a little bit more, or maybe for their next single and things like that. Right now their vocal is so weak, you could really hear their vocals trembling. So when the beat is strong and your voice is weak, something about it doesn't sound right. But if their voice was powerful and the song is energetic at the same time, it will be really nice and pleasing to hear. Okay, so there is one video about how they train, so let's take a look at this video and let me just see like what they're doing. I think it's really exciting to see how they train or how they did in UK without actually being in Korea. So are these the same girls as the girls on the music video? I feel like this girl, the Asian girl, is that the same girl? Maybe it's the same girl, I don't know. Oh, her name is Junse, not Chunse. Wait, spelled it with the chi, C-H-U, Chunse. So I thought her name was Junse. Okay, that makes sense. I'm like, why is her name Chunse? Okay, so while watching this, I'm not saying that they didn't train at all, but this does remind me of a comment that I got in one of my videos that I did of this video where I teach you guys what my celebrity teacher taught me when I was training for my vocals. And there was a comment that made where this girl said this, basically saying you're not supposed to train for more than 1 hour. The person that had commented, I did feel like they weren't from Korea or Asia. It does seem like a non-Asian person commenting on this, because the training system, I do feel like in the Western culture and Korean culture are so different. Now, the person who commented on this, whoever they're talking about, is just a normal vocal trainer. This is the reason why you don't train just for 1 hour a day. I don't agree with this comment, but thank you for watching my video. I'm not saying that you're being rude. Maybe if you were just doing it as a hobby or you're just trying to do it because you like singing, that's totally fine. The reason why we're at the company 12 hours a day for years, because it takes that long to become a professional performer. Having that safe level, the balance of your skills of dancing and singing and performing, and along with many other things. I don't really know how one is gonna be a professional performer with just 1 hour of practice a day. I mean, that just does not make sense to me. That's why even a doctor, an athlete, they train for hours and hours a day for years for that Olympics. So the fact that you're only training for literally 1 hour a day, that's not true at all. Now going back to the video, I don't know how long they trained or anything like that, but it does sound like they didn't really train for that long, and that's okay. That's okay, and I'm sure they'll be prepared more for the next time. First of all, a lot of people need to calm down because it's not a big deal. I mean, it says on their channel it's the K-pop girl group project. You know, when you say a project is a project, it's something that might work, and if it works, then great for them. If it doesn't work, you know, then they know what to do with it next time, or if they don't want to do it next time, it's gone. The project is done. What I am more disappointed, not about them and not speaking Korean and being called a K-pop group, I'm more disappointed on the comments. Like, if you go to their Instagram, look at all these hate comments. That was even worse ones when I saw this couple of days ago. It was like people calling them clowns, telling them to disband. There were curse words, and I just think that is wrong. Even if you guys don't, some people don't agree with what they're doing. Did we not learn as a community how hate comments can lead to someone's depressions, can lead to suicide, can lead to such dangerous things? I mean, people in Korea right now, like if you leave bad hate comments or if you spread false rumors, you could get prosecuted by the police and get a fine, and I don't know if in America you go to jail for something like this, but did we not learn the consequences of what our words have on other people? It's okay to critique and not like something, but when you cross that line and like curse people out and continuously harass people, I mean, come on guys. I mean, how are we gonna do the same thing to other people? We're being hypocrites. There's a phrase, a saying in Korean. We didn't learn a language in order to put someone down and like harass people. We learned language in order to be an intelligent species, not a stupid species. Now anyway, I just have to say it would have been nice if Kaachi, this group, called themselves a UK group that was inspired by K-pop. If you're gonna call yourself K-pop but not have Korean in it, it does seem a little bit off, and a lot of people are gonna critique it because they have a certain standard when it comes to Korean music. I think we would have enjoyed this song more if it was just full in English. Maybe the music video, maybe their clothes, a little bit of Korean maybe inside the music. Like I said, they're not the first group to do this artists. We have Sonyo, which was more like a project group just for the show, and then you have EXP Edition, who full on tried to be a K-pop group with, like I said, Koreans didn't really care if they did what they did. But I think the major problem with this is that when you're not fluent in Korean, just we can't connect with it. And what was really sad about it was I saw this documentary about EXP Edition, and a lot of these guys in the group, they said that, you know, this was like their way. If they don't make it here, they have to start all over back in America. And it was really sad to me because I didn't understand why they would have in the first place really put everything into this. It would have been nicer if EXP Edition was like the first American group that was inspired by K-pop, you know, and maybe they could sing Korean a little bit as a hobby or as like a special event project. Then Koreans would have loved it because, you know, we love it when foreigners love our culture and appreciate it. And if I could see these girls doing something that was very natural to them, you know, it would be a lot more pleasing, it would be a lot more accepting, and they would seem a lot skillful. It would seem like real performers and like real artists. You know, you don't have to be a K-pop group in order to be accepted. So I do think it's very important to bring out your natural talent, what you're really good at and who you are, and then add a little bit of spices into that. Also, I do have a question. It would have been nice maybe having a little bit more Asian members if they really want to go with the K-pop. But anyway, at the end of the day, I think it is really interesting to see how people are able to create these projects without a big budget, without being in a certain country. We're able to use online platforms and social media in order to gain an audience and a crowd. And honestly, I'm so proud of this generation because we have YouTube. We are able to be our own boss, create whatever creativity projects that we want without big companies judging us what we want to do and what we can't do. I wish when I was this young, like I had this easy way of making a music video and, you know, someone supporting me when I was this young. I had to do it all on my own. I had no one that like believed in my dream because growing up in America as well, because no one knew K-pop, my parents didn't support my dream, my friends didn't really know how to help me. I had to do it all on my own. I went to Korea with like 2 suitcases with no money, no connections at all, and I just started from literally scratch from bottom, and it was really hard for me. And I hope to see more of these project groups. Honestly, it's kind of like fun and entertaining. Even if people hate on it or people love it, I think it's kind of entertaining to see people just do whatever they want on the platforms. Now, don't get me wrong, there are sometimes when non-Asian works in the K-pop music industry. We have Alex. I think she worked perfectly. Like, I'm not really sure why they didn't use her more because I think that was a perfect example because she sang in all English, but she was still in this K-pop group that made them seem very like modern, hip, like it was a cross between a pop and Korean, and it really mixed it nicely. But those cases are rare, and I think Alex was very talented and she had that skill and talent, so it did work for her. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to hit the like button, share this video if you liked it, and I reply to all my early birds if you put the notification on. Bye!